This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Szpakowo. But before that, this video is brought to you by Gizmo UK and Doughboy2913. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Szpakowo map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available in two different varieties. We have the crossplay version, which is available for all platforms. That's the version we're going to be taking a look at today. And we have the PC only version, which is exactly how you see the crossplay version, with the exception it includes multi-terrain angle. Those of you that do not know what multi-terrain angle means, it simply means that if you want to plow in a circular direction, you can, and you will see more angles of the ground, hence multi-terrain angle, to make it appear as if you are literally plowing in a circle. It's a visual thing that some PC players like to have, and that's why I guess the map author has chosen to add it and release it as a separate version of the map. But again, we are taking a look at the cross-play variant. The only difference with the PC variant is, again, the inclusion of multi-terrain angle. Let me read you a little bit of the description. This map was reproduced from real terrain in Central Europe with several modifications to diversify the gameplay. This map consists of new crops, which include, or should I say new crop textures, for barley, rapeseed, corn, oats, oilseed radish, wheat, and grasses. In addition, there's also new textures for decoFoliage, decoBush, and groundFoliage. This map includes new crops with clover, alfalfa, triticale, rye, and green rye. In addition, there are new ground textures for fields, spreading manure, spreading lime, and fertilization. This map includes what I call stubble destruction, in that if you harvest and then drive over the harvested ground with tires that are not care tires, they will destroy the stubble, and therefore you will see your tire tracks in the harvested crop. In addition, this map includes multiple additional painted plants, trees, and field types in build mode. There are seasonal decorations such as leaves, snowmen, wet roads during rain, flooded meadows, Christmas lights on houses, and artificial farmers in the fields. And the last one I really like to see, and I would like to see added to additional maps going forward. Added some new sounds to the map, new finds, 100 collectibles, and productions in a mill, dairy, carpenter, sawmill, spinnery, and tailor shop, 3 farms, a place to build your own farm, varied terrain, 3 large selling points, purchase point for DLC items in the Platinum and Premium expansion, 5 pastures to be purchased together with the land, BGA, line buying station, animal dealer, and much, much more. So this map does have some required mods. So let's go ahead and talk about those required mods. So in addition to the mods we typically use when we look at maps, which are additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, precision farming, and straw harvest. We're also going to be making use of the big cow barn, the big white cow barn, big yellow houses, the building farm set, the elegant house, the hall barn garage, the large packages of houses, old brick cow barn, and the old farm building set. Let's go ahead and load the map up. And I will tell you that if you happen to load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find that all of the farm areas are built out exactly how you see them here in new farmer mode. In addition, you do start out with starting machinery in all play modes. The only difference is, of course, you do not own any land in those alternate game modes, and you have a larger bank balance. If you happen to be playing this map with a lower end system, I will tell you that I did not have any issues whatsoever in maintaining a steady 60 frames per second on a lower end system with integrated graphics. Now that we've loaded into the map, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. And I think the first thing you're going to see is, yeah, indeed, this is a Eastern European map, or what I would like to refer to as a Polish style map, with the small and larger long stripped fields. A lot of these fields can easily be merged together just by either plowing up the ground between them or by taking out a few trees and, of course, plowing the ground up between them. Now, this map does not include all the standard crops. We are missing sugarcane, poplar, olives, and grapes from this map. But in addition to those standard crops that are included, we also have, as I said earlier, alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, and green rye. If you are playing with the premium expansion, then of course you will have also your red beets, carrots, and parsnips. We go ahead and take a look at our lands overview. You'll see that we start out by owning a few farmlands up here, kind of north center of the map. We start by owning farmland ID 251, 179, 15, 16. In addition to that, we do have some additional farms on this map. 179 is what I'm going to be classifying as the starter farm, and that is a cow farm that can be purchased in any alternate game mode for $206,000. In addition to that, we have a cow and horse farm down here at farmland ID 181 that can be bought for $443,000. We have some cow pastures scattered around the map. We have a cow pasture at 250 for $95,000, 247 for $172,000, and a cow pasture at 253 for $57,976. In addition to that, we do have a cow farm located at farmland ID 180 that can be bought for $443,000. We have a biogas plant at farmland ID 184 for $508,000, and we have a farmhouse located at farmland ID 235 that can be bought for $107,814. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include any field or fields, what is included. Then lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us? As you can see, we have a boatload of farmlands on this map. In fact, according to the description, we have over 250 farmlands and 181 fields available here on this map. You can, of course, pause the screen at any point in time if you do wish to see various details, but we are kind of trying to quickly scroll through here so we can get to our field calculator screen. We also, as you can see, have fields ranging from less than 1/2 of a hectare all the way up to 9.45 hectares. Here we have our field calculator screen. This is going to show us the specific sizes of each particular field, as we do know that sometimes the farmlands and the field sizes can vary between them. Let's go ahead and take a look at our crop counter. We do have a custom crop counter available here on this map. And as you can see, we do have then custom growth schedules for our new crops in alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, and green rye. Taking a look down through our prices screen, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the crops that are available for sale on this map or for production on this map, because we have sugarcane, poplar, olives, and grapes, which have been removed. In addition, we do have the ability to sell all of our animal outputs, as well as our silage, hay, straw, and grass. We also have the ability to sell all of the base game production items that are available to us here on this particular map. Now, one thing that we also have is we do have the ability to get rid of our stones on this map, which is also good to see, and the ability to buy bulk lime. Now, with respect to our new crops, we have multiple sell points for rye, triticale, but we do not have any sell points for green rye. I'm kind of wondering if maybe green rye is used in our food production for our animals, or possibly as a forage crop and is intended to chop and then use as silage. Now, so one thing of note, anyone who picked up the farm production pack, if you think you're going to be using the farm production pack to wash potatoes, sugar beets, carrots, beetroots, or parsnips, Well, you will be a little bit disappointed because we do not have the ability to sell any of those washed crops. So you will need to put down your own sell point if you are wanting to do the crop washing, which is a part of the Farm Production Pack DLC. Now, with respect to the premium and platinum expansion DLCs, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the platinum expansion DLCs, as well as the premium expansion production and crops that are available to us. Then lastly, if you are going to be playing with Straw Harvest, we do have the ability of getting rid of our hay and straw pellets. You start out with a decent listing of starting machinery, and in fact, you're going to find this starting machinery scattered around the various farms on this map. So maybe a little bit of an effort to basically get all that stuff gathered together if you are not going to go ahead and purchase the individual farms where this machinery is located. We do start out with the cow barn, but we do not have any cows at the start. We also do have contracts available. And while this map includes 7 production chains built in, we do not own any at the start. And this map does have 100 collectibles. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. We start out with the Fendt Favorite 511C and Proxima HS80 and the Major CL80 small tractors. We have the Nova 330 harvester that is paired up with the PowerStream 500 grain header. We also have the Mahindra Retriever and the Kloss Karat 140 TD trailer. We have a Servo 25 plow, as well as the MG 300 disc harrow. We have the Nordstein HK 25 NS 3030 seeder and power harrow combination. We've got the Farm Tech Super Cease 800 slurry tanker, the small Massey Ferguson 1840 small square baler, as well as the Hauer XB 150 front loader. For the front loader arms, we have the universal bucket, and we also have the N40B header trailer for our PowerStream header. Now, with respect to mods and DLCs, this map does not include any custom vehicles or implements. Now, before we go and kind of jump over to the starting farm, I do want to go back here to the PDA and just point out that we do have starting machinery here located at Farmland ID 181. We also have starting machinery located up here at Farmland ID 180, as well as over here at our starting farm. And then we also do have access, I believe, to a forklift that is located over here at our vehicle shop and something located down here at the animal dealer. This map also does include a rather unique and interesting custom soil map. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. So what we're seeing here is kind of a blending, a blurring at the edges of the different soil types. And when I first saw this, I'm like, wow, that's weird. That's odd. And then I looked at it just a little bit longer, and then I thought that's probably how we should see most of these soil maps, in fact, because we're not going to have a strict, straight delineation, a hard break between the different soil types. The soil types are going to blend, they're going to mix, they're going to merge, they're going to kind of have a little fuzz factor when they're going from loam to sandy loam, or from silty clay to loamy sand, for example. And that is exactly what we are seeing here. So I really like this soil map, and I hope that we have other map authors to kind of pick this trend up and run with it in the future. Now, I've just tabbed once, and the first tab is going to take us over here to the cow and horse farm at Farmland ID 181, just down the road from where we started at our career start point, which is actually just to the west of this area at the animal dealer. So let's go ahead and kind of just do maybe a series of farm tours all at a single point in time here, and then we'll get on with kind of the flyover and do a general overview of the entire map. So as I said, we are down here at Farmland ID 181, which is located right here on the map. We have 2 cow pastures right beside this particular area, and we have our farmhouse, we have a cow barn, and then we have a second cow barn, and then there is a horse pasture over here somewhere as well. So we do have our sleep trigger here at this farmhouse. And with respect to, can the farm items be sold? I will tell you that pretty much everything here on this particular farm can indeed be sold. So here we have one of our cow pastures. We have our milk fill point. Nice little garage area with a workshop trigger. We have our food and straw trough. Our drop-off for our cows, 30 cows in total, can go into this particular barn. Here we have our slurry pickup. A little bit of vehicle storage here as well. In behind the cow area, we've got some junk and some debris, a nice bale shed or vehicle shed, as well as a few silage bunkers. 1, 2, and 3. I believe there's another one over here. Yep, there is number 4. Make our way back over here to the main farmyard. I like that we have access to all of these different little areas to store small machinery or other tools and implements. So here we're going to have our milk point for our second cow area. Our manure heap. 100 cows in this area. Then we have our slurry point. And our food and straw. Now, while we're here, we might as well just kind of make our way over here to this cow pasture. 120 cows in this pasture. We're going to have our water trough, our milk fill point, and our food trough for down here. Now across the street from there, we have a second cow pasture. 80 cows in this one, with water and food. Then we have our milk over here, kind of at the fringe. Now, something you may have seen, and, well, we're looking at it right now. What I really like about this map is we also have just kind of areas where we have AI cows, we'll call them. Just random pastures, kind of scattered around the map that are pre-populated with cows. This area cannot be purchased. It's just here, and it does give you a little bit of life to the map. So I kind of like seeing that available. We're going to hit tab again. And now we're going to jump over to Farmland ID 180. A really cool shed here with these, I don't know what you call these, curtains, I guess, that slide back and forth. Now, everything at this farm can also be sold. So we have our farmhouse. some implement and vehicle storage. We have a milk fill point. So obviously we have ourselves a cow barn here. We have our food and straw. And we're going to hold 72 cows here. We've got our slurry point down at the other end of the shed. And we have 1, 2 silage bunkers located right here. Then we also have another silage bunker located on the other side of the cow shed. We have a second cow barn located right here. So we have then our milk. We have our food and straw. Our slurry point. And 40 cows in this one. So we've got slurry there. This is probably going to be our manure heap. Not popping up. That's what I'm going to just kind of guess and assume on. Like I said, everything at this farm can also be sold. And now we're going to tab over, and we are finally over here at our starting farm. This is going to be at farmland ID 179, located right here. So we do also, once again, have a sleep trigger located here at the back door of our farmhouse. But unlike the other farmhouses, there is one aspect that we cannot sell at this farm, and I've got to believe that it is simply an oversight and hopefully will be updated in a quick fix, because the pavers here and the sidewalk, that cannot be sold. We can sell the house. We can sell all the other buildings and deco objects here at this farm. But what we can't sell is the driveway pavers and the walkway. That is permanently a part of this farm, and it really would go a pretty long ways in helping us customize this area if we had that ability. Now, I was able to sell the building here and the farmhouse, but we couldn't get rid of those pavers. 60 cows in this building. We have our food trough. Here we have our milk trigger. The implement storage. Back here we have our manure heap. We have a silage bunker. Our slurry point. And this over here is an AI farm. And again, we have the animated cows, like I said, just kind of hanging out, giving the map a little bit of a life. And then this is also kind of on adjacent property. So we have a very narrow farm here at the starting area, but I was, again, able to sell both of these buildings here at this location. Now we're just going to quickly run up and around the bend here, because we do have a third cow pasture located just up the road from our starting farm. That's going to be a farmland ID 253. We're going to hold 80 cows here. And we have then our milk. We have our food. And we have our water for those. And then off in the distance, know how well you can see, but off in the distance here, we have that AI farmers working in the field concept. So we are right here at the map edge. And what we have is we've got harvested field of rye. We have some rye straw. And we've got set up a tractor with front loader arms and a bale trailer. Basically out here loading up these round bales to eventually go back to their farm. So I think that's a really, really cool complex or concept. And we'll see that repeated when we get around to our flyover. Let's go ahead and take a look at our animal food requirements and see if we have any specific custom animal requirements as a part of this map. Our cows are fairly standard with total mixed rations being 100%, hay being 80%, and grass at 40%. Our sheep are 100% at grass and hay. Our pigs are still fairly standard, 50% corn and sorghum or pig food, 25% wheat, barley, and pig food, 20% soybeans, canola, sunflowers, and pig food, and then 5% on our root crops, including our pig food. Horses looks pretty standard in here as well as our chickens. So the green rye as well as the added crops, none of those are going to be specifically used for animal food. While we're here at the map edge, we might as well just go ahead and get a little bit of altitude and just kind of take a little look around. Right now we are looking off to the west, and basically to our right, we have distant scenery. To our left, we have a playable map. Pretty darn good distant scenery. If you want to ask me, I'll tell you. I think we got some pretty darn good distant scenery here. We've got buildings set up. We've got farms set up. We're going to see farm machinery kind of driving around and doing its own little, well, it's not really driving around, but it's kind of structured as if it's driving around doing its own little thing. Down below, right here between fields 125 and 128, we do have a root crop sell point. This is right on the fringe of the map boundary. In fact, we've kind of run into the map boundary right there. We see more of that trend. We've got a harvester out there working in that field. Here we have the farm that is at farmland ID 180. We've already kind of taken a look at. And again, all of this can be sold. Here we have that last cow pasture that we looked at. The cow pastures can be sold as well. And when you do that, all of the triggers and everything goes away, and you basically end up with just some meadow land. You will see that we have power poles on these fields. These power poles do have collisions, so you will need to be driving around those, or your AI will also be working around those. A couple more of those AI cow fields, cow pastures. Making our way over here to the extreme northwest of the map. You'll find we have a few sell points and buy points. We have a sell point located right there, as well as located inside of here. And then we do have a lime buy point located right there. Again, another field that has some deco bales is technically non-playable. Just to give you a little bit of kind of map life. We don't just have some barren fields at the map's edge. We have a sell point located right here. You see all of these fields, fields 1 through 9, and then fields 47 through 51. These are all going to be very, very easily merged together if that is something you're into. Here we have the biogas plant between fields 151 and 152. The BGA here can be sold, but the caveat is there are deco elements that cannot be sold in this area. For example, these stacks of metal and this little trailer here, they're going to be permanently a part of the map. So we're not going to be able to get rid of those. So how functional and how useful is selling the BGA? It's going to be up to you if you want to get rid of this and put something else down in its place. But do know there are some things you're going to have to be working around, like this little shed here. You're going to have to be working around that. Then we have three-sided bunkers. These also are permanently a part of the map, and you're going to have to be using those or working around those as well. This is where we started the map tour. This is your career start point. This is where we have some sell points as well as our animal dealer. We have our animal dealer located right there. Here we're going to be able to sell slurry. We have a bale sell point located right there. Another bale sell point. Then we have another sell point located right here as well. And this is exactly where we started. And lo and behold, guess what? Two of the custom collectibles right there where we started at. So we do have custom collectibles. These are not the Elm Creek collectibles. You're going to find them scattered all around. Those were little tokens. I've seen molehills. I've seen little wooden horses. I've seen, oh geez, lots of different things on this map with respect to the collectibles. So it's really cool when we see kind of custom things like that. Here we have another one of the player farms. This area below this shed we didn't look at earlier. I like when we have different levels. So we have a workshop trigger here on this lower level. And I couldn't help but notice that we've got some storks here on this utility pole. And of course, the first thing I thought was Zielonka. And I'm like, oh, I wonder how he pulled those and referenced those from Zielonka, or if maybe they are different models and basically just going to that kind of look. So here we have that one cow pasture right next to the AI cow pasture. And then right across the street, we've got the other cow pasture that we looked at earlier on in the video. To the southeast, we have a few hot spots to take a look at. And let's talk a little bit about our scoring. With respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such, we do indeed have production built into the map. We have 7 productions built into the map for that fact. We have a carpentry, a spinnery, a tailored dairy, BGA, sawmill, and grain mill. Here we have a sell point for our stones. And here we have our sawmill. Speaking of productions, to our wood drop-off point, we have our wood cell trigger there at the saw line. We have our interactive icon. We have our pickup point for wood chips. We have a sell point for wood chips. And I'm looking to see if we are missing seeing the spawn point for our planks, because I did not really study this particular area in great detail earlier, and I do not see the markers showing where those planks are going to spawn at. So that is going to ultimately play a little bit into the scoring. If I missed it, I know you guys are going to tell me down in the comments below. Got another AI farm here that is set up as a sell point. And I just like kind of looking here at the map edge, because again, we see these things like these bales on the field, the trees off in the distance, the farms, the other areas off in the distance. Just really, really well done map boundary. We've got another grain sell point located there. And then this is going to be our grain mill. So we have our interactive icon. We have our dump point for our grain mill. And it's possible. It's possible that inside of here, we might have our mill spawn point. Let's go ahead and just buy this and see what happens. Again, we are not seeing the spawn point for our flour pallets. To the right over there, we've already seen that farm. Took a look at that earlier. Coming over here to another bale sell point. And now we are pretty darn close to town. That's where we're going to find all of our other sell points, buy points, our dealer, and such. So here we are coming into town. Got a sell point over here to our left. We have our spinnery over here to our right. So we have our interactive icon. We have our dump point. And I'm going to guess that that's also going to be our pallet spawn point. Here we have our vehicle shop. Just down from the spinnery. Inside we have our salesman. Hello, sir. I'd like to buy something. Let's go ahead and pick up a Mahindra and just see where our spawn point is going to be located. Oh, conveniently we are teleported out front and we are looking at our spawn point. And then we have our maintenance trigger, our dealer trigger located right here at the roll down gate. And inside we do have that activation icon. Over here we've got a grain sell point located here. We have our fuel for the map also located here. Further up the road, we have a sell point below, quite possibly for our planks. We have another buy point here for our manure, to purchase manure. We have another sell point and another AI kind of farm. Then this again is our starting farm. I did take notice of this. Apparently I missed this earlier. We have another cow area just up from the main starting farm, and kind of diagonal to the AI farm here. We'll hold 40 cows. We have our food. We have our milk area right there. So that is farmland ID 231. So let's continue talking about our score here with respect to, does the map include sell points for all the base game crops, animal outputs, and production points? We are going to be giving the map a full point because it does indeed include the ability to sell everything that we can produce and grow on this map. The fact that we have sugarcane, poplar, olives, and grapes removed from the map will not affect that score because we can't grow it. Therefore, the fact that we can't sell it isn't that big of a deal. With respect to the farms being customizable, we are going to be taking off a quarter of a point because here at the starting farm, we are stuck with the sidewalks and the driveway pavers here. We can sell this building and we can sell the farmhouse, but what we can't get rid of is the driveway and pavers. That can get a little bit annoying, but everything else at the other farms can indeed be sold. Buildings where appropriate are using the new texturing technique. We're going to be giving the map a half a point there. And that is because while a lot of the buildings are definitely indeed using the new texturing technique, there are a few kind of fields here and there, or not fields, but buildings here and there that are not. Does it really deter from the enjoyment of the map? Probably not. But it is something we do take a look at. So a half a point there. Take a look at this. We've got again the bales. This time we've got the stubble destruction going on, where we can see where the AI has driven through the field. I don't know how well it's coming across on the video, but we can see that. Get a little bit of altitude. I think you can see those tire lines. And then we've got a tractor over there with a round baler, and then off in the distance we've got a harvester working out there. Again, that is all. That's all distance scenery. Really, really well done. We're going to be also then giving the map a full point with respect to... No, not a full point. I've got to adjust my scoring on that because we did find a couple of those area markers for pallet spawns to be missing. So we are going to be taking off a quarter of a point with respect to player and interactive areas being clearly marked. So that's going to wrap this map up with a total score of 4 out of 5. If you like Eastern European maps, if you like Polish style maps, well, this map might be right up your alley. It's kind of giving me a little bit of a fancy because I do enjoy this type of map. I enjoy these smaller fields and maybe these little tighter farms. I like some of the creativity that these farms have. And the other aspects, like the soil map, the attention to detail on the boundary fields and the boundary distance scenery, really does kind of make this map stand out a little bit above the rest of the maps that we have seen to date. I'd love to know what you all think down in the comments below with respect to this map. What do you think of the distance scenery and things like this, where we've got a harvester and a tractor with a trailer set up in the map boundary, just off the map boundary, so we can see there's something going on there, but we obviously can't get right up next to it. And until next time, happy farming.